Zeno is the god of everything. Zeno is a character that is incredibly polarizing, and I say this because he is said to be able to wipe out universes in their entirety with little to no effort at all. So a few months ago, basically, I recorded a video with World King Kanji in which we talked about Dragon Ball Super's god hierarchy, and we theorized whether or not they will add other gods to the hierarchy. And kind of looking at the preview for episode 55, it seems like they've added a new character. I don't know if that's Whis' mentor, whatever that guy is. It seems like they're kind of still adding upon it, which means that video may have been a bit premature, but I want you guys to check it out and give your thoughts on it. I'll leave it in the description for you guys. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about Zeno exclusively, and then I'll kind of trickle down to some of the other gods that we're accustomed to, and I wanted to talk about the effect that they have on this series. Now, this is something I've actually talked about before in a video with Real to Real, where we basically talk about Vados and Whis and those characters, because at that time they were at the top of the totem pole as far as strength goes. We basically talked about whether or not having them in the series was a little bit too tough. So for today's video, I'm going solo, like I said, and I'm talking about Zeno and the Black Goku / Future Trunks arc and its potential tension. So when you have a character like Zeno, when you have other gods below him like Beerus and Whis, whatever you want to say, does that mean that this arc can legitimately have no tension? I'm posing that question to you guys, so while this video is going, feel free to respond to that question in the comments down below. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion on it. I think that having a character like that in this series that's head and shoulders above everybody else is a good thing and a bad thing, because it's a good thing that it sets the bar for other characters to achieve that level of strength. Not to say that other characters will, like Goku and Vegeta, but basically the same trope that they've introduced with the Beerus character and the Monaka character as being guys that, even though Monaka's not strong, by the way, I'm aware of that, they've introduced those guys as being characters that Goku and Vegeta are striving to catch up to. So that's what I mean. It sets the bar for these guys, the main and protagonist of the series, Goku and Vegeta, to be able to reach that level. So as far as Zeno, it's an amazing thing that they've got a character like that. Not to say anybody will ever come close to touching his level of strength. Regardless of what kind of strength it is, we don't know about that. So specifically as far as like Black goes and Zamasu and whoever the villain is, the final battle that they'll have to undergo, and who the final antagonist of this arc will be, whether it's Black, Zamasu, or somebody else we're not accustomed to yet. As far as that character goes, this arc has been said to be an arc that drags in the gods and Zeno. So that means they will have some sort of interaction within this arc, whether that's them actually fighting or whatever the case is remains to be seen. But my thing is that when you have a character such as Zeno, it kind of makes it hard to truly legitimately have tension. And what I mean by that is they can be fighting, shit can be going crazy, shit can hit the fan, but at the end of the day, you can still turn around and see this guy there. And this guy, at the drop of a hat, can say, Black, you're done. Bye. Of course, unless Black has some amazing power that we're not accustomed to, but he could just say, hey, you're done. It's over. Bye. Period. Finito. It's over. Goodbye. You know, so having a character like that means that there's not a legitimate way for Black to win. It's kind of like a similar thing with the Frieza saga, where the Resurrection F stuff, where Frieza shows up and yeah, he's on par with Goku and Vegeta up until the stamina issues, but regardless of what you think, Beerus and Whis would have interjected at some point. Regardless of what Beerus says, oh, I'm not here to take sides, yeah, they would have interjected, and you know that they would have interjected because Whis even personally interjects and rewinds time. So, you know, it's the same thing where he seemed like he was kind of set up to lose, basically. And a similar thing is here with Zeno in that he's, with Black, because he's a character that, while he was fighting evenly with Goku in his Super Saiyan form, and he's going to match up, I just pulled the Japanese out down here, the Super Saiyan form, and while he's going to get a new transformation, which I haven't really talked about yet on my channel too much, you know, he's going to get to that level with Super Saiyan Blue, but Super Saiyan Blue isn't the strongest form in the series. So my thing is that with Zeno here exclusively, they can just say, hey man, I'm sorry, this arc is done. I don't think they'll legitimately do that. I don't think they'll do that because, you know, they want to have some sort of tension, but my point is that they can't have, legitimate organic tension with a character like him there, and that kind of trickles down to the other characters. Like I said, these guys will intervene if they need to, and they actually have more motivation to intervene this time because this is shit that's going on not exclusive to Earth. Zamasu and Black and whatever's going on there with time rings, with the Kaioshin, whatever is going on here is on a higher plane, such as Black. You know, it's on a higher caliber than something that should be left up to Goku and Vegeta. Not to say that's not how it'll turn out, but Beerus, Whis, Champa, Vados, Zeno, anybody else that is a god that we have not been accustomed to, the Kaioshin as well. All these guys have a legitimate motivation to take out this guy at this point, because it's not something that's self-contained. This is not an Earthling. You know, this is not something that just spawned in like this pocket of the universe. You know what it is? This guy is a legitimate threat, and they're building him up to be that, which is why these characters are going to get dragged into the arc. So I want to know your thoughts on it. Like I said initially, do you think that Dragon Ball Super can have organic tension while having characters in the series that are just so head and shoulders above everybody else? So that is it for me. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm going to try to do more discussions. I've been kind of heavy with Dokkan lately because whatever happens with Dokkan is just like, man, I've got to throw out all this content for all these people that love the Dokkan stuff. So I don't know. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.